Okay, when I say the word factory, what pops into your head? I'm guessing it's machines, maybe some assembly lines, lots of concrete, right? But what if a factory could be something totally different? Something that actually creates memories, inspires real loyalty, and becomes a place people want to visit? Well, let's dive into this really cool idea of engineering emotional gravity. This right here, this is the big idea we're unpacking today. It completely reframes how we should think about an industrial space. You see, it's not just a box where you make things. It's a place where feelings and stories and genuine connections can be built. All right, so let's jump right in. We're going to explore this concept of taking a purely functional space and giving it a real personality, making it feel alive, basically giving it a soul. And look, this isn't just some artsy philosophical idea. The stakes here are incredibly high. The analysis is pretty blunt about it. The emotional vibe of your industrial space can literally make or break your bottom line. It's a powerful lever that can swing your business in a huge way for better or for worse. And you can really see that shift in thinking right here. The old view is super utilitarian, right? The factory is just a container for production. But this new vision, it sees the factory as a living, breathing part of the brand. It's a place that embodies the company's values and its personality, creating a real experience for anyone who steps inside. So, if a factory can have a soul, how in the world do you build one? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a very deliberate process. Let's break down what the source calls the engineering of emotion. Okay, so here's the official definition. The keywords you want to lock onto are designing, evoke, and story. This is so much more than just making a place look pretty. It's a strategic process. It's about using the physical space to tell a story that makes people, we're talking customers, employees, visitors, feel something really positive about your brand. So, how is it actually done? Well, the framework breaks it down into four key parts. First up, emotional design. Using things like lighting, color, even plants and green spaces to set a specific mood. Then there's storytelling, connecting what you do in the factory to what you believe in as a brand. Third, you've got sensory experiences, thinking about the sounds, the smells, even the textures of the place. And last but not least, human interaction, designing tours or interactive exhibits that forge a real personal connection. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. What happens when you actually get this right? Because this isn't just a feel-good project. It has massive, tangible benefits for both how the world sees your brand and, honestly, how you see yourselves. I mean, on the marketing side, the impact is just huge. Your factory stops being some boring spot on a map and becomes a real destination. All of a sudden, you're attracting tourists, students, even social media influencers, people who can spread your message in ways traditional advertising just can't. In a crowded market, that unique emotional experience becomes your biggest advantage, creating amazing content that people actually want to share. And the benefits inside the company are just as powerful. This whole approach builds a genuine, tangible identity. I mean, think about it. When your employees feel like they work in a special place, not just another building, their pride and loyalty can go through the roof. You're not just making widgets anymore. You're building a legacy in your community. Maybe even shifting the local perception from that big factory to that cool hub of innovation. Okay, so the upside is obviously enormous. But, and this is a big but, that power comes with a huge responsibility. Because if this strategy isn't built on a foundation of total authenticity, it becomes a double-edged sword that can backfire, and I mean spectacularly. You end up creating deception instead of connection. Just picture this for a second. A company puts on this stunning public face. You visit their facility, and wow, it's all green spaces, cool, innovative design, a wonderfully welcoming vibe. On the surface, it looks absolutely perfect. But behind that gorgeous facade, the reality is the exact opposite. This is what's known as industrial greenwashing. And if, or let's be real, when that contradiction gets exposed, the damage to the brand's reputation can be catastrophic. And often, it's permanent. So the marketing risks are just massive. One bad story can wipe out years of trust. There's also the danger of sending mixed messages. If you focus way too much on the vibe and it clashes with your core promise of quality, you just end up confusing everyone. And yeah, the investment can be huge, but the real risk isn't just the money. It's spending all that cash on an expensive illusion that has no real sustainable return. And internally, the dangers are just as real. If that beautiful design isn't coming from a place of genuine company values, it just creates a fake identity.
And believe me, your employees and your customers can smell that hypocrisy from a mile away. Your own team might start pushing back, seeing it as nothing more than a shallow PR stunt that does nothing to improve their actual work lives.
So, how do you get all that power without falling into the trap? How do you actually make this work? Well, it all comes down to finding that sweet spot, that perfect balance between emotion and function, between style and substance. This quote from the source material just nails it. This can't be a superficial makeover. It's not just a pretty coat of paint. It has to be a deep philosophy, and its success depends entirely on integrity. It has to be real from the inside out. A great way to think about this balance is the heart versus the mind. The heart is all that emotional gravity we've been talking about, the story, the experience, the meaning, but it has to be built on the rock-solid foundation of the mind, the industrial efficiency, the quality, the core function that makes the business work in the first place. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Success isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about creating a seamless blend. When that inspiring story you're telling on the outside is a genuine reflection of the values you're living on the inside, that's it. That's the moment you turn a simple industrial space into something truly meaningful and incredibly powerful. And that really leaves us with one final question to chew on. Is an industrial space just a tool for production, just a means to an end? Or is it a massive opportunity to build something more lasting, an experience, a community, a true legacy? The potential is right there, just waiting to be engineered.